The following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting at Western Illinois University.
On location here for the first episode of the Pigskin Preview in 2011 here at the beautifully renovated Hanson Field. And thank you for joining us this year alongside the head coach of the Western Illinois football team, Mark Hendrickson. I'm Sean Gracia. Last Thursday, Leathernecks traveled down to Huntsville, Texas to take on the Sam Houston State Bearcats for the 2011 season opener. And coach, unfortunately, the team could not pull off the victory, losing the game by a score of 20-6. But overall, how would you assess your team's performance in the first game?
Well, one thing that we always want to see, Sean, is great effort, and for all four quarters, and we saw that. We saw a team that battled and fought every snap and gave great effort at all times. It was very hot, very humid, and our team is very well conditioned. We didn't lose anybody due to the heat and humidity. I was proud of the players for fighting through that, and again, the effort's there. Now we need to improve on some of the mental mistakes that we made, and we feel very good about this football team for this year.
Well, as we get into the highlights of that game down in Huntsville, the Leathernecks would start off with the ball in the first play of the game. Colton Ray here picking up 19 yards in this opening run, Coach.
Yes, this is an excellent play that was executed very well. We really, as we say, got a hat on a hat. We had 10 blockers blocking 10 people with Carlton Ray making a nice run. And, we got good play out of our offensive line overall up front. Our right offensive tackle, Kyle Caldwell, had a very good football game, as did our tight end, Aaron Muhammad. Will Lunt started the game for us. There he is on the first throw of the season, completing a pass to number 16, Myers Hendrickson. And it came up just short. But on the opening drive, we went for the first down on fourth down and executed a quarterback sneak and made the first down. We went for a throw here and ended up with a quarterback sack, which is obviously not what we wanted. Then we came back with a screen pass. And in this situation, there's really nothing the quarterback can do, unfortunately, but eat the ball. We missed a cut block up front, because on a screen pass, you really can't throw the ball away. And then we were all of a sudden we're in a 3rd and long, and then it was 4th down. We had to punt the ball away, and the defense took the field.
And this is the first possession of the game for Sam Houston State, and a great play here by Ryan Davis. That's a 4-yard loss, tackling quarterback Brian Bell.
Ryan Davis had another very good game for us, as picking up from last year. He's a very good, strong safety for us. There's a defensive team captain for us, Kevin Palermo, number 45, on that next play. Number 4 there, Theon Dixon, had some good plays during the course of the ball game. Right there he is with one of his tackle for losses.
He had 9 tackles in the ball game to lead all Leathernecks there, and that'd be a 5-yard loss. But then Brian Bell, the quarterback, would come back here with a 5-yard run on the play.
Tackle by senior linebacker Mike Garoppolo, outstanding player and leader for us. They ran the option. They mixed that in throughout the ball game, and they made it a challenge. They executed it pretty well. Kieran James, cornerback number 6, played well for us. And overall, the defense played well. The offense, didn't come up with enough consistency as far as making play after play and moving those chains enough. Our defense was on the field longer than we want them out there.
Brian Bell there finding Richardson Sear, who's going to take this one 18 yards all the way down to the 20-yard line. So Sam Houston State driving, but on these next 3 plays here, Coach, the Leatherneck defense really steps it up to keep Sam Houston out of the end zone.
Yes, we got tough in the red zone throughout the course of the ball game. Good play there earlier by number 27, Tyler West, our free safety. Cornerback Chris Boone did a good job there along the boundary. And then another real good tackle. That's a 3rd down and short situation. Another real good tackle, one-on-one by Ryan Davis. And that forces them to attempt the field goal. They do hit it to take the 3-0 lead.
That'd be Miguel Antonio with the 30-yard field goal. So as you said, Sam Houston State taking the 3-0 lead. And after a Western punt on their next possession, Sam Houston State is going to take over once again, starting off with Wilson here and a 7-yard pickup.
And again, the defense on the field longer than we wanted to be out there. Good play there by Ryan Waldron. He played very well, number 34, as did Raynard Hamilton, number 24. They both had several good tackles during the course of the ball game.
And as you mentioned, that wildcat formation they do earlier, Richard Sincere would be the quarterback in that situation. There's a 4-yard run there as he pitches it to Brian Wilson on second down.
You know, with the option attack that they mix in right here, you know, they really force you to stay home and you know, play assignment football. You know, it takes away some of your blitz packages that you'd like to be able to use in the course of a ball game. Now, fortunately, they were called for it was a good call by the officials on an illegal chop block, so that touchdown was negated and they moved back. And again, the defense comes up tough in the red zone here, as we'll see. Number 9, defensive end Ryan Deming, has played well during all of camp and had a very good game as well, as did number 93, the other defensive end, Dwight Harris.
Bell's going to find Richard Sincere. They're only good for a 1-yard gain before he's stopped by Raynard Hamilton. And then Bell with the 4-yard run of his own here. So that's going to bring up another 4th down situation for Sam Houston State. Miguel Antonio once again kicking this field goal, this one from 31 yards, and it also is good. So that puts Sam Houston State up 6-0. On the next possession for the Leathernecks here, Coach, a little bit of a change in there is Josh Hudson's in his quarterback.
Yes, we rotated quarterbacks throughout this ball game. Will Lund started the game. Josh Hudson came in and took a few series to finish out the first half. There we just about had a completion to Tyrion Crump. It was ruled out of bounds. And they both played well. The second half, they also split time. We felt like both quarterbacks improved as the game went on. And in this next ball game that we'll talk about later, you know, you'll see both quarterbacks play again.
Josh Hudson here showing that he can scramble there as he picks up the first down on that 10-yard gain.
Josh does have good mobility in the pocket. He showed that several times during the course of the ball game. And of course, we've got to do a better job with overall with pass protection. We did allow more sacks than we want to allow. There's a good strike from Josh to Tyrion Crump. And actually, that's number 82 there, Justin Morgan, on that catch.
Hudson would find Crump on the next 2 receptions, though. This one, an 8-yard gain. Crump showing off his athleticism there, and then another 11-yard gain on the next play.
Good group of receivers. There is number 76, Jimmy Holschlag, our starting right guard, outstanding football player. Good movement again by Josh in the pocket, another pass completion to Tyrion Crump. There's number 69, Jeff Lindsay, our left guard. We want to be able to rush the ball more consistently than we did, Sean. Both Carlton Ray and Bryce Flowers had a very limited number of touches. You know, as far as carries, we want them to carry the ball more and keep the attack more balanced than we're able to Thursday night.
Josh Hudson looking deep for Tyrion Crump there. That's incomplete, so the Leathernecks would have to punt again as we fast forward to just over a minute and a half left in the first half here, and Brian Bell's going to find his receiver Trey Diller for a 37-yard pickup. That
was certainly a big play for Sam Houston right there that moved them down the field here near the end of the first half. And again, the defense gets tough here, and it'll bring up a 4th down situation.
Bell looking for Merritt on that play. That's incomplete, and then Bell is going to find Flanders here, who takes this one and gets a first down before he's taken out by Theon Dixon on the play. So that's going to bring up another first down for Sam Houston State, and then another reception for the Bearcats.
Number 18, Tim Franken there on the play. Another one of our defensive captains at strong safety, a very good ball player and leader. In the middle, there's number 50, Delector Durley. Delector is a redshirt freshman playing in his first game. He split time with our Notre Dame transfer, Emeka at the nose guard position. They both played very well throughout the game.
So after that big stop on the play, bring up a 4th down, Sam Houston State would go for it, and Emeka Wanwo there, the defensive tackle from Notre Dame, would jump offside just a little bit too quick, so that's going to bring up a first down for Sam Houston State.
You know, that ended up being, of course, a big play here. We had them stopped on a 4th down situation, and then eventually here they're going to get the ball in the end zone just before halftime to build on that lead.
Brian Bell's going to find Grant Merritt there for the touchdown with just under a minute left before the half, and that's going to put Sam Houston State up by a score of 13-0, Coach, and that would be the score going into the locker room at halftime. And a little uncharacteristic of this Leathernecks team, usually, you know, a high-powered offense, and couldn't really find their mojo in the first half.
Well, again, we used the 2 quarterbacks, Sean, and again, pleased with both of their play. You know, the quarterback is not the number one issue. We need to be consistent up front. It always starts with the linemen up front, and in this week of practice has gone very well up to this point in time. We'll talk more about, I know, this Saturday's ball game coming up. At halftime, though, we're down 13-0, as you mentioned, and you know, we've been in those type of situations before. The defense had played very well for as much as they were on the field, and you know, we wanted to win that ball game on that Thursday night, and we talked about that at halftime, that this team was very capable of doing that. Our defense was shutting down the opponent. You score 2 touchdowns and 2 PATs, and you're up 14-13. And that was the mindset of our football team. They did take the field to start the second half with an excellent mindset, you know, prepared to win the ball game.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned, because up next we will take a look at the highlights of the second half. And welcome back here to the Pigskin Preview. And Coach, let's get right into the highlights of the second half of the game. And Sam Houston State would receive the opening kick in the second half here, and they're going to start off with Tim Flanders getting a few carries. And Tim Flanders, someone that was really good last year for Sam Houston State right here at Hanson Field, didn't get too many carries in the first half, but in the second half, he got the bulk of the carries.
Well, they have an outstanding football team, and they have an outstanding running back, as you just mentioned. Number 20 right there you see on your screen is a very good back, and of course the quarterback played a very good football game for Sam Houston as well.
The Brian Bell there finding Merritt. That's a 7-yard pickup and good for a first down there. And then Flanders getting a pair of runs in a row here. That's going to be a 4-yard pickup and then a 14-yard gain on this play for another first down.
And the defense, again, on the field more than we wanted them to be on the field. You know, just allowed the single touchdown, 1 touchdown in the second half. Overall, played well. And of course, you see the score right here is on the opening drive of that second half. And of course, you can tell that that's a mental mistake. We were in a man coverage there, and you know, somebody lost their man. And you know, other than that, the defense hung in there and played very well throughout the second half.
That was a touchdown from Bell to Ryan Wilson for 44 yards on the play there. And then as we fast forward to just over 10.5 minutes left in the third quarter, the Western possession, Will Lunt looking for Terry and Crump there. There was an offsides play, so very heads up of Will to get that ball off.
Yes, that was a great job by Will to take a shot at it, because that play was going to be, as we'd say, a free play for the offense. And we didn't quite connect, but we still ended up with a 1st and 5 situation after the Sam Houston offsides.
Colton Ray is going to pick up 6 yards on that run there, and Will Lunt cannot find anyone, so he has to throw the ball away on the play there, and that's going to be followed up by Will Lunt finding Justin Morgan here. Just gets across that first down marker. Heads
up play there by Will earlier on getting rid of the football and throwing it out of bounds, and a real good strike to Justin Morgan, who stretched out for the first down. And you know, we're mixing the run and the pass together. You know, at this point in time, we felt like we could stick with our game plan and come back and still win this football game. They've got 20 points on the scoreboard, but we're confident in our defense, and of course they did shut them out the rest of the ball game. We just need to get points on the board.
Will Lunt taking this one himself after a personal foul against Sam Houston State. That's good for a 4-yard pickup. And then Will Lunt here looking for Terry and Crump in the corner of the end zone, and Crump gets it, but the ball is just ripped away on the play there by Bookie Sneed of Sam Houston State, and Sam Houston State will take over.
Good ball right there by Will, and you know, a very high percentage of the time in practice and games, Terry and Crump's going to come down with that ball right there. Unfortunately, we don't at this moment when we needed it, and obviously that was a big play in the game as well.
Fortunately, though, Sam Houston State will not do anything on their next drive, so this is Western's next drive into the fourth quarter here. Josh Hudson back in the game, and Colton Ray with a 3-yard pickup there before Hudson is going to find Josh Gableman here for just a yard on the play.
You know, Sam Houston's defense obviously read that play well and had a man right there with Josh in the flat. And then, of course, the big offensive play of the game for the Leathernecks was Josh hitting Terry and Crump right there in stride, even though he's well defended. It was a well-placed ball. Good job by Terry to hang on to the football and, of course, take it 92 yards for a touchdown.
It'll be the 3rd longest touchdown in school history for this Leatherneck team. As we take a look at it one more time there, and that's going to make the score 20-6, Coach. And unfortunately, there would not just be enough time left in the ball game there, and that would actually be the final score in the game, as we mentioned earlier. Leathernecks falling in this one by a score of 20-6. Now, as we take a look at some stats from the game, Coach, both quarterbacks, Will Lunt, Josh Hudson. Lunt was 4 of 11 in the game for for 43 yards and that lone interception. Josh Hudson was 7 for 12 for 136 yards and that touchdown. Terrion Crum, as we just saw there, 5 grabs for 127 yards and the 92-yard touchdown in the game. His performance got him honorable mention CFPA Performer of the Week, so congrats to Terrion for that. And total for this Leatherneck team, 216 yards, 179 of those passing, 37 of those were rushing. So the Leatherneck team still trying to find their groove, as we mentioned, Coach, but in the second half, things really started to come along for the offense and the defense.
There's no doubt that we gelled better in the second half than we did in the first. And the players, again, they ended the football game in the best mindset possible as well. They know that that was game 1 of the season. There's a lot of games to be played, and they were very excited to get right back to work on Sunday. We had our normal short workout on Sunday afternoon, and they've been working great this week. And great positive attitude by the senior leadership, by the captains, and this team's getting ready to play game number 2 now.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned, because up next we'll hear from quarterbacks Will Lunt and Josh Hudson about game 1 at Sam Houston State. And welcome back to the Pigskin Preview. I caught up with quarterbacks Will Lunt and Josh Hudson to get their thoughts on the Week 1 game at Sam Houston State.
It was great to get out there to play somebody other than ourselves, but obviously it was a little sloppy. We just really need to focus on ourselves and our own mistakes, not on the opponent, try to get better.
We made some mistakes, first game mistakes that we need to take care of. And obviously not what we wanted. We didn't want to come back here with being 0-1, losing the first game, but obviously things we can correct, mistakes that are curable. So we're going to come back to practice hard. Everyone's going to be ready, pumped up, and we're going to come out Saturday, hopefully do some big things.
Will and Josh split time in the game against Sam Houston State. Overall, they feel they performed well, but there's room for improvement.
I'm glad of how I played. Some things I could have done better. First game, my first game at Weston in the offense, really getting to feel, just working on getting comfortable, going out there and making plays, and trying to lead the offense while I'm out there.
I did okay. I could have done a lot better. Like I said, I was just like the rest of my team. I just need to clean up the little things.
The lone touchdown in Thursday's loss was a 92-yarder from Hudson to senior receiver Terrion Crum, the 3rd longest in school history.
Yeah, we were in the huddle on the sideline before we went in, and just I know Crum pretty well from being here, and so just talking with him and the offense, trying to go out there and say we got to go score. We looked out there and the ball's on the 4. We said we got to go 96 yards and score. Luckily we were able to do it with the big play and stuff. So it was real nice. Me and Crum been talking about hooking up for a touchdown for a while now. So it was cool. Let's put the ball out there, let him go make a play and do what he does. He's a great receiver. It worked out.
This Saturday, the Leathernecks take on Jacksonville. Will and Josh feel in order to succeed, they'll need to fix a few things on offense.
Really, we just need to clean it up. All the little things, the fundamentals, just the rules, the snap count, just focusing on the little things.
A lot of mental mistakes, like dropping off sides, penalties, just mistakes like that are real curable. It's on ourselves. We were in a lot of 1st and long situations, a lot of 3rd and long situations, which makes it hard. Calling plays and executing them, but stay out of those and just get into our rhythm and play our game, and we should be good.
And Coach, in a unique situation this year, and you have 2 quarterbacks, and Will Lunt and Josh Hudson. They're very talented and both very capable of running this offense. So what would you say are the individual strengths of both Will and Josh?
Well, fortunately, we do have 2 outstanding quarterbacks that you mentioned, Sean. Will Lunt has been an outstanding leader since he joined us 3 years ago. He's a redshirt junior this year. Will was selected as a team captain this year by his teammates during fall camp. Even though Will's only a junior, that indicates that the team has a great deal of respect for Will and his leadership on and off the field. Will is used to win a lot of football games when he played in high school at Rochester, Illinois, and he throws the ball exceptionally well. And he did that well in high school. He continues to do that very well. And that's something you can't always teach, to deliver a ball the way that he does. Josh Hudson joined us last January from a junior college in California. Also, obviously, an outstanding quarterback throughout his career. And Josh picked things up very quickly during spring football last spring, and again was right on top of his game this year in camp. We anticipated a battle for this position, and that's what it's come down to. Josh and Will are both very good friends, and they're both very capable. Again, as you mentioned, Sean, they run this offense very well. And Josh has very good mobility with his feet, as he did show in Game 1. We saw that in practice, and he demonstrated that against Sam Houston. And he also throws the ball well. So the good news is we're going to have a very good starting quarterback once it's all settled, and we're going to have an outstanding backup quarterback as well. And when we go into Game 2 versus Jacksonville University, you'll see both of them play again, and really we'll let the competition continue through Game 2.
All right, we're going to take another quick break, but stay tuned because up next we'll talk more about this beautiful turf that's right below our feet, and we'll preview this weekend's home opener against Jacksonville University. And welcome back to the Pigskin Preview. And Coach, before we get into the highlights of this weekend's game at Jacksonville, let's first talk about the new turf that was installed here at Hanson Field. And how do you feel the turf looks, and how do you think it's going to be a benefit to this Leatherneck football team having turf over grass?
Well, there's no question the turf looks beautiful, and it's very, very appealing to the eye, that's for sure. The fans will really enjoy it, sitting in the stands and seeing the ball game played on it this Saturday at 3 p.m. versus Jacksonville, our first football game on this artificial surface. Hanson Field had had natural grass for 62 years, so it is a big change. And it looks very sharp from the stands. It looks very sharp from the sideline. And so there's a big difference there in the appearance. And it, of course, is going to give us a clean surface all the time on game day. As everybody recalls, players and fans alike, last fall, just last year, we had 3 what you might call mud games. 3 of our 6 home games here at Hanson were wet and ended up really being muddy. It may be wet, but it'll never be muddy here again at Hanson Field. And it really makes it a better game to play by the players and a more enjoyable game for fans to watch as well.
Well, as you mentioned, the first game on this brand new turf will be this Saturday as Jacksonville University comes to town, Coach. The first ever meeting between the Leathernecks and the Dolphins of Jacksonville University. So after watching game film, what can you tell us about how the Dolphins run their team?
Well, Jacksonville is a very good football team, a very good football program. They were 10-1 last year in 1AA FCS football. So they bring a very good football team up here. They also return a lot of starters, as we saw in Game 1 against Sam Houston. Their defensive side of the ball has 8 starters return, and their offensive side has 6 starters return, and including in those 6 on offense is a quarterback for the Dolphins that comes into this season having thrown over 8,000 yards of passes, and he's a top-rated passer in all of Division I in terms of efficiency coming into his senior year. So he is very effective. They throw the ball very, very well, and it'll be a real challenge for our defense. And of course, our offense needs to stay on the field much more than we did in Game 1.
Jacksonville losing their season opener to the Citadel by a score of 31-9 last Saturday, and the Citadel racking up over 400 yards of total offense in that game, Coach. So for this Leatherneck offense and Doug Roos's offense, do you expect a lot of running as the Citadel did, or do you expect a more balanced attack?
Well, the Citadel is a triple option team, a true triple option team, so they emphasize rushing the football, and they ran the triple option to perfection last Saturday versus Jacksonville. We will need to be balanced to win this football game. We'll need to run the ball better than we did in the first game. As we mentioned earlier, both Carlton Ray and Bryce Flowers have got to get more carries, and we've got to be more consistent on offense, and we'll need to mix in the play-action pass and in the passing game as well to be effective in keeping the defense, our defense, off the field.
And as you mentioned, Josh McGregor is the quarterback for this Jacksonville team, and he's a Walter Payton nominee for the preseason watch list. So defensively for the Leathernecks, what's the plan of attack going to be to stop not only McGregor but the rest of the Jacksonville offense? And this defense for Western Illinois played very well against Sam Houston State.
The defense did play well in Game 1, and of course we expect them to set that standard even higher for Game 2, and I know that our defense will do that. The defense is also going to have to keep things mixed up. Certainly with a quarterback this good, most of his receivers are back as a very talented receiver core. We've got to give him different looks, because if he knows what's going to happen on defense, he'll pick you apart.
All right, well, the game, as you mentioned, this Saturday, 3 o'clock here, right here at Hanson Field for the 2011 home opener, Coach. And as we turn to what's going on in the Missouri Valley Conference right now, Coach, 3 teams in the Missouri Valley won last weekend of the 9. That would be North Dakota State, South Dakota State, and Southern Illinois. North Dakota State defeated Lafayette, a school out of Pennsylvania, by a score of 42-6. South Dakota State defeated Southern Utah 29-28, and Southern Illinois defeating SEMO 38-10. So right now, too early to tell, obviously, what's going to go on for the Missouri Valley Conference, but as conference games start to play in the next few weeks, we will definitely start to get an implication of that. As we turn to this weekend's games, some notable games, Coach. South Dakota State will be traveling to Champaign to take on the University of Illinois. Southern Illinois will be traveling down to Oxford, Mississippi to take on Ole Miss. UNI will be traveling to Stephen F. Austin, which should be a very intriguing game as both teams very good in FCS football. And also, of course, Jacksonville will be traveling right here to Hanson Field for the 2011 home opener for this Leatherneck football team. So that is all the time we have for you this week on the Pigskin Preview. For head coach Mark Hendrickson, I'm Sean Ingracia. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to tune in next week as we have full highlights of this weekend's game at Jacksonville. Thanks for watching.